Welcome to the Jerry Graves channel. This is a channel that talks about narcissism and everything in between. My voice is low. I can't really talk really loud at this moment. But let's jump straight into the topic. This is about how to survive on the job in a narcissistic world. One thing that happens when you're victimized by narcissists, especially if you were brought up in a narcissistic home, is that you send out all these cues subconsciously about yourself that are kind of hard to control. And uh, at some point, you might have to get a video camera and just start so you can see yourself, so that you know what you're portraying. But until then, you send off a lot of signals that you're not intending to, right? So whenever you get to a job, people normally don't take you the way that you are. They don't really understand. You know what I mean? Like they have a lot of different backgrounds and life experience that might just be completely different from yours. So they have a whole different perspective on you than what you are, right? So you end up battling against that. And it gets to the point where you're going to get removed from the working environment. At least for a lot of people. It just depends on how bad people perceive you at first. Because some people it's whatever, but some people can have like a really bad perception of you to the point where it's like you're almost offended and you can't stand it anymore. And you don't want to be put in that box, and you don't want to go away from the job, feeling like you've been treated that way, and you don't want to be hypnotized into believing what they're saying about you or what how they're treating you. So then you fight against it, and you're doing the noble fight, and it's like a righteous thing, but it's just not the place for it at a at a place of employment. Like that's just not the place to do all this fighting. So you gotta watch out for that. That's the main thing that holds narcissist victims from holding on to a job. There's other things too, you know, but this is the main thing. And it's easy to turn everybody against somebody who doesn't necessarily fit in because you have just little things about you that's a little bit different because of your experiences. So whenever you get to the job, instead of fighting against it, just sometimes you accept the fact you might have to work your way up from the bottom, you know, and it's a lengthy process, but as long as you're the most courteous person there, um, and really you will be all right. One thing I was thinking about while I was recording this video is that you want to get to the point where you leave the past in the past. Like we all want to get back to how we were treated before we were abused, or you know that too. Like that whole thing, like the status that you held before. Like you want to get that back. So it's kind of like that's another thing to fight about. Like, oh, I'm not this guy. I'm not this lowly person, or like and it's not even worth it. If you take your time and you're patient, people will eventually come around. It might take years though, and even if they never come around, right? If you're at work, like the main thing is just to get paid. It doesn't matter exactly how you're being treated per se, unless it's like you're going to be physically harmed or something like that. But other than that, it's just you're there to get money. It don't care. You should never care about like your status in the workplace. Just all you care about is the check coming when it's due, and that's how you survive. In a narcissistic world. Peace.